In Salem, power takeovers are just as dramatic as the love affairs, betrayals, and long-lost relatives. Now, two of the most notorious Kiriakis family members are gearing up to flip the business world upside down. The latest Days of Our Lives spoilers tease a high-stakes twist as Xander Kiriakis and his half-brother, Philip Kiriakis, make their move to seize control of Dimera Enterprises. With one brother stepping in as the head of the Kiriakis empire and the other sinking his teeth into the long-rivaled Dimera dynasty, the tides of power in Salem may shift forever. A perfect storm, Dimera in disarray. The timing couldn't be better for a corporate takeover. With E.J. Dimera lying in a hospital bed in a coma and Kristen Dimera spiraling out of control in her desperate search for their mother, the leadership vacuum at Dimera Enterprises is too tempting to ignore. These vulnerabilities offer the perfect opportunity for the Kiriakis brothers to pounce. Long-standing competitors, Titan Industries and Dimera Enterprises have clashed for decades, but the new generation of Kiriakis leadership is ready to change the rules of engagement. Xander, known for his ruthlessness and confidence, is now commanding the Kiriakis empire, a position he's long craved. Philip, always the more strategic and polished of the two, is set to helm Dimera Enterprises in what may appear to be an unlikely twist of fate. But there's much more happening beneath the surface. Their seemingly sudden rise to power has been carefully orchestrated behind closed doors for weeks. Brothers in arms or future rivals? As Xander and Phillip begin dismantling Dimera Enterprises subsidiaries one by one, their coordinated efforts seem unstoppable. Yet, viewers know better than to believe that peace among the Kiriakis clan can last for long. There's already a ticking time bomb threatening to blow up their alliance. One that could turn these newfound business partners into bitter enemies. Philip is hiding a dangerous secret from his brother. The letter from their late father that positioned Xander as the rightful heir to the Kiriakis' fortune? It's a forgery. Philip knows it. So does Sarah Horton, Xander's wife, and even Alex Kiriakis, their sly and often unpredictable cousin. The trio has chosen silence, perhaps out of fear or a desperate desire to keep the peace. But secrets this big have a way of surfacing. When Xander discovers that his entire empire was built on a lie, the fallout could be catastrophic. Gabby Hernandez, caught in the crossfire meanwhile, another major player in the Dimera business world, is being pulled into the Kiriakis' web. Gabby Hernandez, whose company Gabby Chic has flourished under the Dimera Enterprises umbrella, is now being managed by Xander and Phillip. The fashion and home goods empire, once her pride and joy and partially tied to her marriage with Stephan Dimera, may soon find itself under new ownership. There are whispers around Salem that the Kiriakis brothers are plotting to buy out Gabby Chic, absorbing it into their growing business empire. On the surface, it may seem like a smart business move. But behind the scenes, manipulation and power plays are at work. Gabby is no stranger to corporate warfare, but even she might find herself blindsided by the speed and cunning of this takeover. Will Gabby willingly bow to her new bosses, or will she fight tooth and nail to retain control over the company she built from the ground up? Fans can expect fireworks as Gabby begins to suspect that she's being used as a pawn in the Kiriakis brothers' game of corporate chess. A legacy of lies and a battle for the truth. As the Kiriakis and Dimera empires collide, the question looms. Can the two brothers keep their shaky alliance intact long enough to secure the future of their families' legacies? The truth about the forged inheritance letter may not stay hidden much longer. And when it finally comes to light, it could destroy more than just boardroom alliances. It could shatter family ties, romantic relationships, and personal identities. Sarah Horton, who has always walked a fine line between loyalty and truth, is struggling with the burden of secrecy. As Xander's wife, she has every reason to want to protect him. But how long can she continue living with the guilt of hiding something so pivotal to his success? And what will happen if someone else, say, Kristen Dimera, uncovers the truth and uses it to take back Dimera Enterprises? A new era of corporate drama. This isn't just another hostile takeover. It's a multi-layered, slow-burning drama that could redefine the future of two of Salem's most powerful families. With EJ out of the picture and Kristen distracted, Xander and Phillip are seizing their moment, but for how long? Power struggles, secret betrayals, forged documents, and romantic entanglements, all are in play as Salem braces for a corporate storm like no other. Will Gabby lose her company? Will Xander find out the truth about his inheritance? And will Phillip manage to keep everything under control, or watch it all come crashing down? As viewers tune in, they'll witness a dangerous dance of ambition, loyalty, and deception. And as always in Salem, one wrong move can change everything. Stay tuned to Days of Our Lives, because in the world of Dimera and Kiriakis, the next big twist is always just around the corner. Shadows of the Truth. Stephanie, Alex, and the Phillip dilemma shake Titan's foundations, an emotional recap and character-driven breakdown of yesterday's episode of Days of Our Lives *. Yesterday's Days of Our Lives episode unraveled layers of tension, guilt, and jealousy, blending dream sequences with hard-hitting reality as Stephanie and Alex found themselves tangled deeper in a web of secrets, one that could threaten not only their relationship, but the stability of Titan Industries itself. The morning began with what looked like a simple gesture of affection. Stephanie, in an attempt to brighten her boyfriend's morning, arrived bearing coffee and pastries from Sweet Bits. She let herself in quietly, wanting to surprise Alex while he was still sleeping. But what began as a tender, sweet moment quickly shifted into something far darker. As Stephanie climbed into bed beside him, she was startled awake by a vivid nightmare. Alex stirred just in time to witness her startled expression. Still groggy but now curious, he pulled her closer, sensing something was wrong. "Bad dream?" he asked, his voice laced with concern. Stephanie looked shaken, visibly disturbed by what her subconscious had conjured. Alex, with a mix of teasing and protectiveness, gently joked, asking if the dream was a steamy one involving Phillip. Stephanie quickly clarified, "No. It was you and Sarah." Blurting out the truth in a moment of emotional unraveling. That sent Alex into a teasing spiral, even as Stephanie looked visibly uncomfortable. The moment was playful, but behind the laughter, both knew they were circling something serious. The dream was more than just a manifestation of Stephanie's fears, it was a reflection of the emotional weight she'd been carrying for weeks. Ever since she and Alex agreed to keep a troubling secret about Sarah and Phillip, the guilt had been growing, gnawing at her conscience. Alex, surprisingly, understood her turmoil. Though he had joined the pack to stay silent, the secret had begun to weigh on him too. "I get it," he told her, his tone more serious now. "But if it's hurting you this much, why are we still doing this?" Stephanie hesitated. Because telling the truth would shake Titan to its core. Because it would hurt people. Because it could backfire on them both. But Alex admitted something that changed the tone of the conversation entirely. It wasn't just about the company. He confessed that his ego had taken a hit when he found out his own cousin, Phillip, had referred to him as a jerk who couldn't satisfy my woman. That wounded his pride more deeply than Stephanie had realized. That revelation struck a nerve. Stephanie grew defensive, upset that Alex seemed more concerned about how he looked in Phillip's eyes than the emotional complexity of the situation. The tension bubbled up into a heated argument. It wasn't just about Phillip anymore. It was about trust, self-worth, and the insecurities that had been brewing between them. In a moment that was half serious, half playful, Alex turned to her with a loaded question. "So, am I better than Phillip?" Stephanie looked stunned. She refused to dignify the question at first. But Alex kept prodding, teasing her in that trademark cocky charm of his. Eventually, she relented. "Fine," she said, rolling her eyes. "You're better." "Oh," he grinned. "Having fun yet?" The tension melted into something lighter. For now. The pair dressed and left for their day, but the issues they carried lingered beneath the surface. At their shared workplace, the energy between them was clearly tense but supportive. Alex soon found himself face to face with his cousin Philip, a man whose very name had started to echo in every corner of his relationship. Meanwhile, Stephanie was quietly observing from the sidelines, her mind spinning with what might come next. Later, in a rare vulnerable moment, Alex admitted to Stephanie that he wasn't sure what to do anymore. He stood at a crossroads: tell the truth and risk exposing everything, or keep the secret and preserve the fragile peace at Titan and within their circle of friends and lovers. Stephanie didn't push him. Instead, she made it clear that the decision was his to make, but whatever he chose, she'd stand by him. "I'll support you," she said quietly. "But you have to live with the consequences." That single line, gentle yet firm, marked a turning point. Stephanie was no longer the woman trying to keep everyone happy. She had reached her limit. She loved Alex, but she wouldn't carry the burden of this secret alone anymore. And Alex, he seemed to know that time was running out. The emotional fallout, a deeper dive. What made this episode so striking wasn't just the dramatic dream or the playful banter, it was the emotional honesty underneath. Alex, often seen as the charming and confident Abbott cousin, was forced to confront his insecurities. Stephanie, usually the composed and rational one, was fraying at the edges. The audience saw the cost of secrets in real time. Stephanie's guilt has begun invading her dreams. Alex's pride is bleeding into his decision-making. And now, the question isn't just about whether the truth will come out, but what kind of damage it will do when it does. If Alex tells Philip the truth, he risks blowing up not just a family dynamic, but potentially his own relationship. Philip isn't known for handling betrayal well, and Sarah's involvement adds yet another layer of emotional landmines. But if he doesn't say anything, Alex may lose Stephanie's trust, and that might hurt more than anything else. Stephanie's support may seem unwavering on the surface, but it's conditional. You can feel her pulling back, just slightly. Enough to make us wonder if she's preparing herself for disappointment. Again. What's next for Stephanie and Alex? Will Alex come clean? Will Philip find out in some unexpected way? And will Titan survive the ripple effects if this secret blows wide open? What we saw in yesterday's episode was just the beginning of the fallout. Stephanie and Alex are at a fragile place, not quite broken, but definitely cracked. And as Days of Our Lives fans know, when a couple starts dreaming of betrayal, it's usually only a matter of time before dreams turn into reality. Stay tuned. The truth is coming, and it won't be pretty.